Yes. So even though Krishna is a chariot driver, he pervades supports the entire universe. Arjuna therefore wishes to see Krishna's all-pervading form. Arjuna requests Krishna to reveal his universal form. So this is the synopsis of chapter 11. And then we have different sections, 1 to 8, Arjuna's request to show his universal form, 9 to 31, Sanjaya's description of the universal form that Arjuna is witnessing, 32 to 34, time I am, Kala, become my instrument, And 35 to 46, Arjuna's prayers, and 47 to 55, only pure devotees can see Krishna's two-armed supreme form. This is what is going to be covered. And this, and now section A, 1 to 8, Arjuna is requesting Krishna, please show your form. The last 10.42, you said that I pervade the whole universe. So please, can you show me? And now 5 to 8, Krishna first describes. He has to give little bit of, trailer kind of a thing about his universal form before he actually shows the movie. And then he bestows upon Arjuna the Divya Chakshu, the divine eyes, which is very, very necessary to see it. So let's dive into 11.1. Arjuna Uvacha Madanugrahaya Paramam Guhyamadhyatma Sangitam Yatvayoktam Vachastena Mohoyam Vigato Mama. Yes, anybody would like to volunteer to read? You may raise your hand. Pratima Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Translation: Arjuna said, by my learning the instructions you have kindly given me about these most confidential spiritual subjects, my illusion has now been dispelled. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So till now we have seen, first 10 chapters. We are entering into the 11th chapter, the first verse, which is titled The Universal Form, or Vishwarup Yoga, you can say Vishwarup Darshan. And before we enter this chapter, we have to understand the connection. So what was that in the previous one? We know the 10th chapter, he was talking about the opulence of the absolute, right? In the last verse also, we know he said, Vishtabhyam idam Krishnam ekam sheno sthito jagat. With one fragment of mine, I pervade the whole universe. That's what ended the 10th chapter. So what was he doing? Lord Krishna was summarizing his opulence as he finally says that, why you want to know all this, Arjuna, in detail? I just by one fragment I pervade. So now Arjuna has a desire. One fragment is so much. How will his universal form be then? Says, okay, you are saying I completely believe, Krishna, whatever you're saying, but then I want to see. I want to see that universal form of yours, all pervading form of yours, O Krishna. So this particular quest, that the thing that was in his mind, in his heart, the hankering that he had, that's there in Arjuna's heart, and he wanted to see this universal form. This particular chapter 11, this chapter is almost like a movie where Lord Krishna is manifesting his universal form, and Arjuna is watching, and Sanjay is watching, and he's watching that Dhritarashtra is hearing from Sanjay. So this is what chapter 11 is all about. And here Arjuna is saying right now in the first shloka. So Arjuna Uvacha, Arjuna said, what did he say? He says, Yat Tvaya Uttam Vachatena. Vachatena means what? Vachatena means Krishna. The words Vacha. Vacha means your instructions given by you. Uttam. Uttam means said by you. Whatever instructions said by you, and how did you give the instructions? Mat anugraha. You have just shown me a favor. Anugrah kiya mere pe. You have just done anugrah upon me. You did favor upon me by giving. What have you given me? Sangitam. You have given me in the matter of Paramam, most supreme. You have given me Guhyam, confidential, and Adhyatma, spiritual subject. You have given me so much. You have done so much favor to me. So hearing this, what has happened? Arjuna says, Moha, Mohoyam Vigato Mama. My moha is gone. You have given me such beautiful knowledge, Krishna, that hearing this, my illusion is lost. My illusion is removed. So what is this illusion that Arjuna was talking about? He's such a great devotee, right? He's such a great personality. We see that illusion in chapter 10. When it comes to chapter 10, I think around, shloka 17, he says, Katham vidya aham yogim, Katham vidya aham yogin, stam tachat tathat param chintayan. He says something like that. How do I think about you? In what way can I know you, Krishna? So he is bewildered there in 17th. He says, Katham vidya aham yogim. Tvam sada parichintayan. How do I chintan? How do I keep thinking? How do I keep thinking about you? How can I constantly think of you? Keshu keshu cha bhaveshu. Chintyosi bhagavan maya, he says. So in what other forms, keshu keshu, in what other forms can I, can you be remembered, Krishna, as Supreme Personality of Godhead? He has asked this. So what is show? It shows the bewilderment of Arjuna. That how can I know you? How can I remember you? How can I understand? How can I, whenever I see something, how can I always constantly remember you? So after hearing all the opulences of Krishna, that illusion had gone. That is what he's saying. Mohoyam vigato mama. That illusion is gone, Krishna, now. And now I know. After asking you, you showed me the opulences, and now my moha is gone, Krishna. So all illusion is gone. So Krishna has made it crystal clear. How can we remember him? Whenever we see any of his glorious creation, whether it's the sun, moon, Himalayas, whatever we see, we should be able to remember Krishna. So after hearing this, Arjuna is acknowledging Krishna. Says, thank you very much, Krishna. My moho yam vigato mama. My moha is gone. So Arjuna is rejoicing after, he's happy after hearing Lord Krishna's vibhutis. He whatever knowledge Lord had given in the previous chapter. Now he thinks, okay, my moha is gone, my illusion is dispelled, completely gone. So he has accepted Lord Krishna. Not only he was not only his best friend, he was best friend, right? But also as supreme divine personality. So now he also says that yes, I know you are the source of all these vibhutis that are there in this world, all these opulences that are there in this world. I know now. All moha is gone. So now in this chapter, he is very grateful to Lord Krishna. He's very, very grateful to Lord Krishna, and very gratefully is acknowledging also. And he's saying, I know you have given me so much of knowledge. You obliged, and you, when I told you, please show your opulence, you spoke about your opulences, everything you have said, right? Arjuna is very enlightened. He is not a chota mota dev, not a commoner like us, right? He's thinking that, okay, I may accept that Krishna is the source of everything. What about other people? What about modhas like us? We may not. He'll say, ye to aise hi bol raha hai. I don't think so. So to establish that thing, that Krishna's divine personality is there, you have to understand. He's requesting Krishna. In this chapter, he says, show me your universal form. So now Arjun is going to make us feel very, very, fortunate, because he is going to beg, he is going to plead Krishna, and he is going to plead and ask him, please show your universal form, Krishna. It's fortunate for us, right? Arjuna is going to acknowledge about this in next two shlokas as well. So let's see, and after this, a universal form of description will start, and let's see the flowchart of this one first. Okay, so effect of hearing most confidential knowledge, all illusion is dispelled, Krishna's supremacy is revealed. He reveals Krishna as cause of all causes of material nature, living entities, all demigods, all incarnations, because he spoke about his opulences, right? And how is illusion dispelled? Arjuna recognizes that that power of Krishna's grace by which illusion is dispelled. What illusion is dispelled? That Krishna is an ordinary friend or human being. That illusion is gone. He is Supreme Personality of Godhead. So then why did Arjuna request Krishna to show his universal form? It will be revealed in 11.3 shloka. So let's go to second one. Bhavapyayau hi bhutanam shrutau vistarasho maya tvattah kamalapatraksha mahatme api chavyayam. Yes, please. Triveni Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. O lotus-eyed one, I have heard from you in detail about the appearance and disappearance of everything, entity, and have realized your inexhaustible glories. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Arjuna is acknowledging Krishna for all that Krishna had spoken, right? Very, very mercifully, very, very, he was so kind in chapter 10 by telling us so many of his opulences. And, we saw that in shloka number 1. Arjuna told Krishna that, oh, mohoyam vigato mama, all my illusion is gone. You removed my illusion. That whatever I had in 10.17 shloka, where I was thinking, Keshu cha bhaveshu chintyosi bhagavan maya. How can I, keep thinking about you? You removed all those illusions of mine. So now he's continuing to acknowledge Krishna. Even in shloka number 2, he's still saying that, See, here for the first time we can see in entire Bhagavad Gita, he is addressing Krishna as Kamala Patraksha, lotus-eyed one. And then he says, Shruto Vistarasho Maya. Shruto Vistarasho Maya means Tvatta, I have heard. Vistara, Vistar means, in Hindi, Vistar means in detail. I have heard in detail from you. About what? What did he hear from Krishna? Bhavapyayo hi bhutanam. I have heard about your Bhavapyayo, his coming, appearance and disappearance, how living entities come in this world, how they go away from this creation. And at the same time, oh Krishna, I have heard from you, Mahatme Apichavyayam, your inexhaustible Mahatme, inexhaustible glories, inexhaustible opulences. So this is what, again, he's acknowledging whatever Krishna had done in chapter 10, he's acknowledging over here. So very nice shloka, where we see the sweetness and the greatness of Krishna in the same shloka, right? So Srila Prabhupada states in his purport that, Arjuna addressed Lord Krishna as lotus-eyed. Why? Because he was overjoyed. He was very happy. He was so grateful to Krishna because he had that, he was completely bewildered and he came out of that moha or illusion. So he is very, very grateful to Krishna and overjoyed. So Krishna's eyes appear just like petals of a lotus flower. So that's why he says Kamala Patraksha. And then, out of his joy, for Krishna, what did he do? What did Krishna do? In previous chapter, he had told, right? Aham Krishnasya Jagata Prabhava Pralayas Tatha. I am the source of what? Appearance and disappearance of this entire material manifestation. So same thing Arjuna is acknowledging here. Whatever he had heard in previous chapter, in 7th chapter, where he had said, Aham Krishnasya Jagataha Prabhava Pralayas Tatha. I am the source of appearance and disappearance of every living. So that is what he has heard in there, and he is acknowledging over here in this. He says, oh, I have heard from you, Krishna. I know, I remember. You are that. So what is he doing? He's kind of glorifying Lord, right? And then in the 9th chapter also, Lord had said, Masthani Sarva Bhutani. He is all pervading. And then next shloka immediately he says, Nachamasthani Bhutani. I am yet not personally present everywhere. So both he had said. So Arjuna heard all this. He has understood the opulence of Krishna. He's admitting it. Okay, I have thoroughly understood Krishna, whatever you have been trying to tell me in all these chapters. So after glorifying Krishna very, very nicely, now Arjuna is going to ask something. So what is he saying? Please, Krishna, show something. No, Krishna. So what is that something that Arjuna is asking? Let's see in the next shloka. So, एवमेतद्यथा तत्त्वम् आत्मानं परमेश्वर द्रष्टुमिच्छामि ते रूपम् ऐश्वरं पुरुषोत्तम. Hare Krishna. Yes, anybody would like to read? Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
O greatest of all personalities, O supreme form, though I see you here before me in your actual position, as you have described yourself, I wish to see how you have entered into this cosmic manifestation. I want to see that form of yours. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So Arjuna has very sufficiently glorified Krishna so far, right? In the previous 2 shlokas, very nicely. He said, my moha is gone. I know previous chapters you have explained me so much. I am completely convinced. Now finally, he's putting forward the intense desire that is there in his heart. So What is he trying to say? He is using the two words to address the Lord over here. What are the two words he used for the Lord over here? One is Purushottama, best of personalities, and Parama Ishvara. You are the supreme Lord. He is a glorifying Lord. Because see, before you request somebody, even if when a child goes to the father or mother to ask for something, you notice when your child really wants something, they want to go for a movie or they want to go out with friends or they want some chocolates, small kids, whatever. They will go and they will say, oh, today you're looking very pretty. Oh, that color suits you very well. Something like that. Then, Mama, you are the best mother in the world. Something like that they will say. So Arjuna is also, oh, you are Purushottama, you are Parameshwara, because he wants to ask something from Krishna. So what is he saying? Evam etat yatha tattvam atmanam parameshwara. So what is he saying? That evam etva yatha tattvam, as it is, you are what you have spoken about yourself. I know that. Yatha tattvam, whatever you have said, yatha tattvam, you are that. But then what does he want? Drashtum ichhami te rupam. Aishwaram Purushottam. So, but I have one ichha. What is that ichha? What is that desire? I want to see your Aishwaram. I want to see your divine form. I want to see Aishwaram Rupam. That Rupam I want, Drashtu, I want to see. Ichhami, I desire. That Rupam, te Rupam. Which Rupam? Aishwaram. Who is he addressing? Purushottama. So this shloka is kind of a request by Arjuna. He's putting forth his desire, So why did the desire came in the first place? 10th chapter, Arjuna had very clearly asked, right? Vaktumarahasya sheshena divyahat yatma vibhushanaha. He said, he has asked, vibhutayaha, he had said. So he has asked Krishna, he says, Krishna, please tell me, asheshena, in detail, about your vibhutis, your opulences. And what did Krishna do? He showed some of his, around 82 of his opulences in chapter 10. Arjuna is like, I asked for it in detail, asheshena. And you told me just at face value, superficially you have told me. You said this is just a fraction of what my vibhutis are. No, Krishna. I don't want to hear just like that. I want to hear, I want to see. You have just told me about your vibhutis. Okay, that's good. That's very nice. Illusion is gone, Krishna. But no. I mean, that I have heard, right? Now I want to see. Like small kids, So I want to see this wonderful, powerful, opulent form of yours, Krishna. Can you please show, please. So Arjuna is putting forward his request in this. And that is why he is addressed Krishna, best person. You are the best personality. No personality is equal to you. And he is giving, he's giving. So as such, he's completely satisfied to see the personal form of Krishna. It's not that he wants to actually, see the universal form or anything, but he wants to, he wants Krishna, after hearing his opulences, he wants Krishna to show, to convince others also who will come, like people like us. So Krishna also understands that Arjuna wants to see universal form, to set a benchmark. What is that benchmark that he wants to set? Because in future, what will happen? There will be so many persons. Oh, I am God. Mere ko worship karo, meri puja karo. I am the incarnation. Anybody will just stand up and say, I am the incarnation of God. No. Okay, you are the incarnation. Okay, show your universal form. So that's why Arjuna said, no. Krishna, please show your universal form. That will set a benchmark. Anybody claims I am God, show your universal form. So after asking to see such a big thing, the universal form, Arjuna is going to talk about his own qualifications, right? So let's see. Before that, let's see the flow chart of this one. So in text 3, why Arjuna requests Krishna to show his universal form. In the second flow chart we had discussed, right? That we will come to text 3 and we will know why Arjuna requests. Because he wants to establish his divinity. Then he wants to convince others that yes, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Imposters should not be there, and nobody can just stand up and say, oh, I am the incarnation of God. And he wants to, substantiate Krishna's statement that not only theoretically, philosophically, but actually, this is the Rupam. So no theory here, practical straight away. Okay, let's move to the fourth one. मन्यसे यदि तच्छक्यं मया द्रष्टुमिति प्रभो योगेश्वर ततो मे त्वं दर्शयात्मानमव्ययम्. Hare Krishna. Akash Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. If you think that I am able to behold your cosmic form, O my Lord, O Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that unlimited universal self. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Arjuna has glorified Krishna in first two verses, then requested, Lord, please show your universal form in the third shloka. And now in this also, Arjuna is in complete humility. He's in complete humility. He's telling Krishna something which is very, very important for all of us sadhakas, you know. We are just commoners and we are just starting our devotional practice. So here Arjuna is stating, Yadi manyase, if you think, very, very important, even if we ask God something, that is why Srila Prabhupada had told, whenever you want to ask something, when Srila Prabhupada was not well, also all the devotees wanted to, you know, they wanted him to come to US and all, and he wasn't well. And that time in one of the lectures, it is written there that devotees wanted, and then they wanted to pray, and then in the end Srila Prabhupada relented and say, you must add this clause to Krishna. If you so desire Krishna, then allow Srila Prabhupada to have good health so that he can travel to US. Similarly, even Arjuna, with so much of humility, says, if you think, now he has already requested, right? So now he told what he wants, but he's saying, if you think, oh Krishna, tat sakyam maya drashtum iti prabho, that I will be able to see your form. Maya drashtu means see your form, oh Prabhu, oh Lord. So yogeshwara tato me tvam darshayat manam avyayam. So he says, what, oh Lord, yogeshwara, yoga ishwara. So Lord of all the ishwaras, all the mystic power. Tato me tvam darshayat mana avyayam. Avyayam. So you please show darshan karao. So you please show me what your eternal self, avyayam, your eternal self to me. So here Arjuna is very clearly telling Krishna, I am not qualified. But if you think that I am yogya, otherwise, basically, I'm ayogya. I don't have any qualification. Then who are you? But then who are you? And you are Yoga Ishwar. You are Yoga. You are actually Lord of qualification. So you being the Lord of all qualifications, you being the Lord of all Ishwaras, you being the Lord of all mystic powers, your Shakti, by your potency, by your divine grace, you can make me qualified. And then you can show me a universal form. But if you think that I am qualified, so that is the way of putting up any request, such a humble way. And this should be our mood also when we are doing any seva, any devotional service. That should be the mood of a sadhaka. That in devotional service, it should be understood that, you know, how unqualified we are. And at the same time, we have to understand how great and qualified Lord Krishna is. So we might be the most sinful, unqualified, wretched people in this world, conditioned in this cycle of birth and death. Krishna is that eternally liberated, all powerful, all qualified, all pure personality. And if Krishna wants, things will manifest. Anything can happen. If Krishna wants, we will become qualified. If Krishna wants, we'll become pure. And if Krishna wants, we will even get those eyes to see Krishna only and only if Krishna wants, no one else. So in this verse, Arjuna is teaching us how to pray to Krishna, how to put ourselves in a very, very, very low position, humble position. Arjuna is looking at Lord Krishna and saying, if you think that I have that eyes to see you, I will be able to see you, then you do let me know. So in previous verse, Lord Arjuna had desired to see his universal form, right? So he's seeking his approval in this verse. Just asking is not enough. You need to humbly, take the approval. How is he taking the approval? By calling him Yogeshwara. So, Yogeshwara, I have expressed my wish. Now, if you think I am worthy of it, you can show me. You can reveal your cosmic form, and you can reveal your Yoga Aishwarya. Right? That's last verse he had said Yoga Aishwarya. So, Yogeshwar, Lord of all yogis. So, Yogi, master of yoga, right? Katham vidyam aham yogim stam. Tatha parichintayan, he had told. So, same way, he said, he changes to now Yogi. From Yogi, he has changed it to Yogeshwar. More respect to Krishna now. So, Arjuna has admitted his limitations. So, he's pleading, he's asking for his grace. So, he's not giving Krishna any order as such. So in this way, very beautifully, Arjuna is requested. And first he glorified Krishna, then he has requested Krishna, and now with lot of humility, he is asking for his approval. If you think I am qualified, then please. So hearing this, why will Krishna's heart not melt? Why will Krishna not oblige? So Krishna's heart melts, and now he is transformed. We're going to show his universal form. So let's see from next shloka onwards what he says. But before that, let's see this. Qualifications to see Lord's form only by revelation, by mercy of the Lord. It's not possible by our material senses. And that is why Lord is addressed as Yoga Ishvara, is the Lord of all qualifications. Sri Bhagavanuvacha Pashyame Partha Rupani Shatashota Sahasrashaha Nana Vidhani Divyani Nana Varna Kritini Cha. Yes, please.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjuna, O son of Partha, see now my opulences, hundreds of thousands of varied, divine and multicolored forms." Hare Krishna Mataji.
So Arjuna is son of Pritha. So Pritha's son is Partha. Pritha is the name of Kunti Devi. Partha is Arjuna. So after glorifying Krishna in the first two verses, and then requesting in the third verse with complete humility, asking for his approval, then so he's saying, you are Yoga Ishvara. If you think I am qualified, Krishna, please reveal your universal form. And see, now such a great devotee of the Lord, such a great friend of the Lord, why will Lord not oblige? Why will not Lord reveal his universal or Vishwarupa form? So as soon as Krishna hears that, he immediately, he starts describing his universal form. Okay, Arjuna, I am going to tell you. So what is he telling? Lord has started describing. Actually, what Lord Krishna is going to do in 4 verses starting from this one, he is going to speak what he is going to show Arjuna now. In the coming 4 verses, till 8th verse, he is going to speak first. Like a movie ka trailer dikhta hai na, how they show trailer first, we come to know what the movie is all about. Similarly, here he is not showing, but he is telling, he is describing, he is going to speak about what is Arjuna is preparing the mindset of Arjuna, what he is going to see. And when he will see, he will be, okay, this is what Arjuna, okay, this is what Krishna was talking about. So see, anyway, after the description, Arjuna will not be able to make out what is what, but that is different. But anyway, Krishna is trying his best to describe the Vishwarupa as he is going to display whatever he is going to display very soon. So he says, Sri Bhagavanu Vacha, Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead. What is he saying? He says, Pashyame Partha Rupan. Pashyame. Pashyame is the word you will come across for next 3-4 verses also. Pashya means behold, look, see attentively, Partha. You see, son of Pritha, son of Kunti, please. So what is he going to show? Rupani. What is Rupani? Forms. What type of forms he is going to show? Shata. Shota Sahasrashaha. Hundreds, thousands of rupas he is going to show. And also what he will do? Nana Vidhani Divyani. Nana Vidhani. Different, various divine forms he is going to show. Nana Varna Akriti Nicha. Means Nana Varna Kriti Nicha means what? Very different colors. Different forms. So it's Krishna is saying, hey, Arjuna, see, This is what I'm going to show, okay? See, Pashya. Pashya means this word Lord is going to use now. We will come to see that. Pashya means behold. Pashya means Arjuna, pay attention, okay? What is going, whatever you're going to see. So he's talking about his various forms, variegated forms. From a very nice prayer that great devotees offer to Lord Krishna, it is there in Purusha Suktam also. First verse that describes it somewhat is that has been described over here. Sahasran Shatashot. Something, it goes something like this. Sahasrashirasha Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat Sabhumim Vishwato Vritva Atyatishtham Dashangulam. It is there in Purusha Sukta, where it has been described that Purusha, the Lord, is having 1,000 heads, 1,000 eyes, 1,000 feet, and innumerable. It's completely innumerable universal being. He is enveloping the whole world from all sides, Dashangulam, from all the 10 directions. Very, very, very opulent verse this is. Very difficult to imagine also for us. And Lord also, he said similar thing in this. Pashyame partha rupani shatashota sahasrashaha. Similarly, Shatashota Sahasraha, to indicate the innumerable forms you will be seeing. So, having asked Arjuna to Pashyame, which is behold, the universal form, you will be seeing infinite shapes, infinite colors, infinite forms. Lord Krishna is asking, you see, you will be able to see Devi Devatas also. You will be seeing other wonders in the cosmic form. That's what he is going to focus on next. पश्यादित्यान् वसून् रुद्रान् अश्विनौ मरुतस्तथा बहून्यदृष्टपूर्वाणि पश्याश्चर्याणि भारत. Yes, please. Akash.
Hare Krishna Mataji. O best of Bharata, see here the different manifestations of Adityas, Vasu, Rudras, Ashwini Kumaras, and all other demigods. Behold the many wonderful things which no one has ever seen or heard of before. Krishna.
Arjuna has requested Hare Krishna. So Arjuna has requested Krishna, please reveal your universal form. Krishna had started. He said, okay, Arjuna, I will start. Pashya, behold, be attentive. So here in this verse, Lord says again, Pashya. See. What to see? Aditya, the 12 sons of Aditi. You will be able to see Vasus, the 8 Vasus. Rudra, 11 forms of Rudra. Ashwina, the 2 Ashwini Kumaras. Maruta, the Maruts, the gods, the demigod of the wind. Then Lord says, what else will you see? Bahunya Drishta Purvani Pashyas Charyani Bharata. Bahuni, many things that you have not seen before. Arjuna, it will be Ashcharyani, wonder. You will be wonderstruck. Best of Bharatas, Arjuna. So Lord is kind of saying, Arjuna, this form of mine, no one has ever seen before. It's almost like a movie is going to start. Person is describing the movie. Just to make that person become more interested in watching the movie. If I say, the movie had this, that, and this is going to happen, and that is going to happen, the shoot happened over there, it is going to have all kinds of, it is going to have comedy, wonder, this horror, that thing. So a person will be like, I want to see. That kind of atmosphere Lord Krishna is trying to create. He's trying to say, you know what, this no one has seen. It's almost, person is describing the movie and you have never seen such a movie before. So Krishna is creating that kind of eagerness in all of us also. So what Krishna is going to reveal is just amazing. So it does not only contains all the marvels of this world, whatever exists in this world, but it is also going to have those marvels of higher planetary systems that never ever before, anybody had seen. So he's going to say that all the devatas are also going to be there. So we come to understand they're all fragments of Lord's divine form. We come to understand from that. He's saying all these 12 Adityas, Rudras, Ashwinau, Maruts, you will be seeing all that. Something that humans have never heard, never known before. That form Lord is going to show and reveal. So Lord continues. He says, this is not it, Arjuna. There's not only Devi Devatas, you'll be able to see much more now. Slowly is revealing. So what's that? Thinks Arjuna, what all Lord is going to show? So let's see in the next verse. Ihaikastam jagat kritsnam pashyadhi sacharacharam mama dehe gudakesha yacchadrashtumicchasi. Hare Krishna. Yes,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
O Arjuna, whatever you wish to see, behold at once in this body of mine. This universal form can show you whatever you now desire to see and whatever you may want to see in the future. Everything moving and non-moving is here completely in one place. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So he's speaking to Lord Krishna is talking to Arjuna, right? And he's telling that very soon you're going to see. We have seen 2 shlokas and we have 2 more shlokas where Krishna is going to explain more. So here what is Lord saying? Pashya. Again he says Pashyadya. Pashya means again behold. Again see. Pashya adya. Immediately. What to see immediately? Mama dehe. Mama dehe Gurakesha. My body. Arjuna, my body. Gudakesha is nobody but Arjuna. Arjuna's name is Gudakesha as well. We had learnt in previous chapters. Gudakesha means who has control over his, he has overcome his sleep and ignorance as well. So Arjuna had done that and had explained in previous chapters. So what to see in the body? Krishna says, look into this body of mine, what to see? So he says, Yatchan yat drashtum ichhasi. So drashtum ichhasi. So what will he see? Yatcha anyat. Whatever you have desired, whatever ichha you have, you will be able to see. So what is that everything? Iha kastham. Iha eka kastham. In one place. Eka, one. What will Lord show in that one place? Jagat Krits is going to show complete Jagat, complete universe is going to show in one place itself. Complete universe consisting of what? Everything. Chara and Achara. Chara and Achara is going to show in one place. Whatever is moving, Chara, and whatever is non-moving, Achara. Everything I will show Ihaikastam. And what is that? Jagat Kritsnam, the whole universe. In where? Mamadehe. I will show you. He is addressing Gudakesha Arjuna. Again, he's creating a lot of excitement in us, and in Arjuna as well, of course. And what is Krishna going to display? So Krishna is telling him that, you know what, Arjuna? In one place, you don't even have to move from this place. I will show you the entire universe, which is moving as well as non-moving, whatever you say, whatever you are wishing. And if you have noticed, Lord has repeated this word, Pashya, 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 Pashya. Everywhere he's saying, behold, be attentive whenever you are seeing, because it's a wonderful form. Be attentive when you're seeing this form. Nobody has seen this before, Arjuna. But then, if you remember, Duryodhana had seen, right? What had happened was Krishna, just before the battle of Kurukshetra, he went as a Shanti Duta, peace messenger, to try and pacify, to patch patch up and finish it off, this whatever problems were going on. So that time Krishna had went there as peace messenger, and he was trying to tell Duryodhana, what is this nonsense? Stop all this nonsense and nuisance you're creating. But then Duryodhana and Karna, somehow they were in that great ignorance, and they wanted to disrespect Pandava's strength. And what they tried doing? They tried binding Krishna. Maybe they had not heard of that Damodar Leela, where in Damodar Leela, Mother Yashoda was running behind Lord Krishna, and finally she was tired. And she was, oh, my flowers, all the flowers from the head also were falling down, and sari, it got kind of, it got loosened, and she was completely tired. And at that time, Krishna saw that mother is tired, and then he's like, chalo, theek hai. Bandhne do maa ko, let her tie me. So here we understand that nobody can tie Krishna, nobody can bind Krishna. It's only when Krishna allows someone to bind him, that's when it's possible. So one of the words that is used to describing Krishna is unconquerable one, right? He cannot be conquered by our own endeavors. Only and only if Krishna wants, then a devotee can bind him. But here, Duryodhana and Karna, what did they try to do? They were not devotees. They didn't have any kind of feelings of love towards Krishna. And why will Krishna allow those personalities to bind him? So Krishna told him, you cannot bind me. I am everywhere. How will you bind me? Which rope will you use to bind me? And after telling this in front of Duryodhana, Krishna manifested a part of his universal form, which of course is going to reveal it to Arjuna also very soon. So that part was revealed, displayed to Duryodhana, and Duryodhana became so frightened. But what to do? In that great ignorance, instead of surrendering to Krishna, he still remained unsurrendered. And in fact, he made a statement, you know what? Krishna jo hai na, he has some mystical power. So here we understand very clearly that part of his universal form was revealed to Duryodhana, which he could not understand. Ignorant person. So what Krishna is going to show Arjuna is something very, very, very unique. Never in the past it was, uh, shown to anyone, and that is going to be revealed in front of Arjuna. Ihaikasta. No other place. Same, ekastham. In this one place is very, very important. It's not easy, right? Srila Prabhupada writes, very nice point that I got from that when I was reading, that no one can see the entire universe sitting in one place, Most advanced scientists also cannot see what is going on in the other part of the universe. Srila Prabhupada writes, it's a fact. You use a telescope. How much can you see using a telescope? How much big you can see at one go, in one go? But here, Arjuna is getting that chance to see the entire universe by the mercy of Krishna. So it's a fact that, in our lives also, as devotees that we are, as if we want Krishna darshan, Krishna's anubhuti, we cannot have it by our own endeavor. Not possible. We are sinful beings. It can only happen by Krishna's grace, Krishna's mercy, Krishna's anukampa. So Krishna is going to continue, of course, with his description. What is he going to show in the next verse, 8th verse? He's going to give the final description. After that, which the movie will start. न तु मां शक्यसे द्रष्टुम् अनैनैव स्वचक्षुषा दिव्यं ददामि ते चक्षुः पश्य मे योगमैश्वरम्. Hare Krishna. Yes, please.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
But you cannot see me with your present eyes. Therefore, I give you divine eyes. Behold my mystic opulence. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Krishna is describing as to what he is going to show to Arjuna. So this is the last description before the movie will start. So Lord is saying, Natumam shakyase drashtum. So you will never be able to see me. Anainaiva swachakshusha. With your own eyes, you will never be able to see me. Okay. So what will Lord do for that? Okay, you cannot see with swachakshusha. So what to do? Divyam dadami te chakshuhu. I will give you the divya eyes. Chakshu means eyes. I will give you that divya chakshu. So why? To see. Pashyame yogam aishwaram. Pashya is used again. To see. To see what? Yoga aishwaram. Inconceivable, divine aishwarya, mystic power, the Lord. So when Supreme Lord comes in this world, he has got two forms, right? One, he comes like in material form that can be seen with material eyes. Another is his divine form that can only be seen with divine vision. So, human beings, they saw him when he came down to the earth, but they see his material form only. They think it is material. His divine form is not visible to anybody. No one. With whatever material eyes that we have. Swachakshusha, what we have, we cannot see. That is the reason why, souls in this material world, they cannot recognize when God takes avatar on this earth. Lord Krishna mentioned this in the 9th chapter also, right? When I come, in 9th chapter, he said, when I come in my personal form, these mudhas, deluded persons, mudhoyam na janati, they are not able to recognize me only. They do not know the divinity of my personality because they don't have that. They, swachakshusha, if you see, you cannot. Dadami divya chakshu, yes, you can pashya me, you can see me. So what people see is only the material form of the Lord. So same theory applies to his cosmic form also. Lord had told that if you want to see my cosmic form, but Arjun cannot see anything because he had material eyes. Physical eyes, that's not enough for us to see the universal form of the Lord. And we don't even have that intellect also. We are not completely equipped with anything. So unless and until Lord, grants us the divine vision, we will not be able to see. Definitely, it's great. That spiritual vision is only and only if Lord graces us, right? Otherwise, we can't see. Soul cannot see that. Pure devotee, but pure devotee is somebody who says, okay, I don't want to see Krishna in any other form except his two-handed form, right? In Srimad Bhagavatam also is stated that boys, gopis who were playing with Krishna, who are they? They are highly pious souls. Many, many, many births they have been doing austerity. Now they have got to play with Krishna. They are so great sages. So such boys, they do not know that Krishna is supreme person. They are just enjoying with Krishna. They take him as a personal friend. Now these boys, they have performed with so many pious activities in the past life. That's why they are able to play with Lord Krishna, right? That's stated in Srimad Bhagavatam in 10th canto. So now okay, coming back to this, after hearing so much about the Vishwarupa, Lord saying Pashya, Pashya, Pashya so many times, see, Arjuna very attentively see, finally is actually going to see the Vishwarupa. Because Lord is going to give him the Divya Chakshu, Divya Dadami Te Chakshuhu, so that he can see the Yogam Aishwaram. In Bhagavad Gita, it is given in Bhagavad Gita. So next verse onwards, it is given that Vishwarupa is going to be described by Arjuna himself, and which is relayed by Sanjaya to Dhritarashtra. So let's see that. But before that, let's go to if we have any main points, we'll go through that once. So this is the spectacles that Lord Krishna is going to give Arjuna to see his divine form. Okay. So what we have understood, Krishna shows variegated forms, vision of wonderful forms. No one has heard that before. Vision of the entire universe, vision of past, present, and future. And you need a divine vision to be able to see Lord's Vishwarupa, which he is going to grace. Okay, so today we'll stop over here. Tomorrow we'll try to finish as much as possible. Yes.